Roy here. Well, it's the end of my 2023 elk hunting adventure to Colorado. Didn't get an elk this year, but it's always a great adventure. Just love it. Yeah, this year I hunted in an area just west of Rocky Mountain National Park. This whole area, woods everywhere, tremendous amount of acreage, was subject to a great forest fire burn in 2020. So a little different habitat than what I'm used to. Very unusual. A lot of it barren, but vegetation's coming back tremendously. One interesting thing, a lot of wetland areas within it. Hard to believe, but a lot of little babbling brooks, springs coming out of the mountain. A lot of green meadows, just lush with vegetation. And elk have been using it. So one of the really cool things about this hunt, on the second day, sitting at a really good spot, what comes walking by us? A bull moose. Wow. I've never encountered a moose while I've been hunting before, and this was not a particularly big bull moose, but they are big animals, let me tell you. It was about 75 yards away, smelled me, but just kept walking down the meadow as if didn't have a care in the world. So that was cool. Also saw a couple cow elk that day, but they were just in the timber, completely out of gun range, and only saw them for a minute. Another very exciting thing, on the day before the hunting season began, way up on the mountain, spotted two bull elk, way up near the top, way too far for me to even to begin to think of trying to get to them. And went back into an area where I could binocular that slope, and sure enough, the next day they were still there. But interestingly, while I was watching them, coyotes called and came and pushed them out of that bed, and then they went into the green timber. There is some green timber here within the burn, which is another remarkable thing. Why some areas didn't burn, hard to say, but the vast amount of this forest is burned. Came across a wallow in the burned part of the forest, wet part, right above our camp. Our camp's down that way, up the slope. There's a spring seep, and right here is what they call a wallow. This is what deer and elk use, come and cool off. They roll in it. There's a lot of tracks around here. Nothing recent, but this is what they like to do during the day, particularly. Lots of beautiful scenery, even though a lot of it's burnt timber. While I was out here, most every day during the day, it was really hot, like today when I'm packing up to go. But, which is typical for the mountains, had a day when it snowed, not down at, I'm camped at 9,400, but the two peaks that are at 12,000, they got some snow. Had a heavy rainfall one day, and in fact it washed out the road, so they closed the road, couldn't leave here. Then on the last day of hunt, went back up above camp, up to 10,000 feet. So climbed from 9,400 to 10,000, and here was Mr. Moose again, walking right by me. Also, cow elk came by, but it was stayed in the timber just out of gun range, and I think it caught my my scent and took off. Just lots of beautiful scenery around here, this part of the country. Went exploring some other possible areas to hunt that were greener and steeper, beautiful vistas. Once again though, all in all, just a great adventure. Love coming out here, doing my thing, doing my do-it-yourself elk hunt. Always interesting things. Yeah, I would have liked to got an elk, but wasn't meant to be this year, so maybe next year. So that's a little overview of this year's hunt. So till next time.